Fun fact about me. The Neverglades isn't the only thing I've written. I actually have quite a few stories available on No Sleep and my personal subreddit. My hope is that this channel will be a way of introducing you to some hidden Farrowverse gems, stuff that you'll enjoy just as much as the Neverglades. A couple of years ago, I released a series called The Cruelest Months, a group of horror stories linked by one key theme, the months and seasons in which they're set. Think New Year's, Valentine's Day, etc. You might also notice some ties to the Neverglades here and there. If you spot any connections between the stories, I'd love to get your observations in the comment section below. This is the first of the stories, set in January 2021. Sort of. For Amanda Tracy, the new year didn't arrive like it was supposed to. Can you imagine the horror she must have felt? It's everyone's worst nightmare. Getting stuck in the year 2020.
I know it sounds crazy, but I'd swear it's true. I was just at my friend Madison's house for New Year's Eve, and we were watching the ball drop and wearing stupid hats and glasses and drinking the champagne we'd swiped from her parents' cabinet, and the clock just stopped. 11:59 on the dot. The picture on the TV froze, and I thought there must have been some kind of problem with the reception, and I was thinking, you've got to be kidding me. Is this really happening midnight on New Year's Eve? But then 30 seconds passed and the screen stayed stuck. My friends had gone quiet, which surprised me, because I just knew Jensen would be complaining about the bad reception, like he always does about everything. I turned to see his reaction, and that was when I realized that my friends had frozen too. Jensen was staring at the screen with his fist pumped and his mouth open mid-countdown. Laura was in the middle of blowing one of those noisemakers. It was half curled up like a snail. Madison had spilled a little champagne in her excitement, and the drops just hung in the air like they were suspended on invisible strings or something. I asked them what the fuck was going on, but of course they didn't answer. Then I noticed that their skin was turning gray. Madison's cheeks were flushed with rouge and alcohol, but the color drained away as I watched, like she was becoming a black and white photograph. The same thing was happening to Jensen and Laura. I started freaking out and tried to shake Jensen out of it, but his skin was cold and stony and I couldn't budge him an inch. Same with the other two. Nothing I did could break them out of it. I started freaking out, of course. Went running through the house, looking for Madison's parents, but they must have gone out or locked themselves in their bedroom or something. I just wanted to find someone else who wasn't frozen, someone who could prove I wasn't going crazy. The only living thing I found was Madison's dog. He was just as motionless as the others, his nose stuck sniffing for scraps on the kitchen floor. My heart was pounding, and I thought I might faint. I was panicking so bad. The house was starting to feel like a prison, and that feeling only got worse when I tried the front door and it wouldn't open. I fiddled with the lock, but it didn't make a difference. It was like somebody had stuck it to the frame with super glue. I started crying and kicking and bashing it with my shoulder, so bad I gave myself a bruise. I don't know what finally made the difference, but eventually I got the door to open. The wood cracked with a loud splinter that instantly got swallowed up, like something had sucked the sound straight out of my ears. I shuddered and ran out into Madison's front yard. Everything had gone gray. The grass, the streets, the cars, the houses, the trees. Our town's always had a sort of grayish-blue color scheme going on, but I'd never seen it look so bleak before. It looked like there was some kind of snowstorm going on, because the air was swirling with these little white particles. It was the first sign of movement I'd seen since the clock had stopped, and I started crying even more when I saw it. Then I realized it wasn't snow. The town in front of me was dissolving, like little clumps of everything were breaking loose and floating up into the sky. I looked up at them as they went, and... God, I don't even know how to describe what I saw. Just thinking about it makes my head split with pain and gets me crying all over again. But I'll try. The sky wasn't the sky anymore. Instead of stars, I just saw this giant swollen stretch of red that went from horizon to horizon, like the universe's biggest circus tent. It pulsed like a heart, and it glowed the darkest shade of red I'd ever seen in my entire life. There were these little jagged bits embedded in spirals that clacked together with each pulse. The bits of snow or whatever would break away from the town and float up into that huge red void. I stared at it until my head started throbbing like the worst migraine in my life. My leg was trickly and wet, and I realized I'd pissed myself like a little kid. I didn't know what I was looking at before, but I figured it out now. There was a mouth in the sky, a giant fucking mouth, and it was eating the world. I kind of staggered back against the door and tripped backwards into Madison's house. The ceiling looked weird, and it took me a second to realize the bits of it were turning into that snow stuff and floating away. I ran back into the den and screamed at my friends to wake up, just wake the fuck up, but they didn't move, and my voice just kind of died in the air anyway. The image on the TV didn't show the ball dropping anymore. Now it was just a pulsing field of red. It didn't take long for my friends to start dissolving too. Their hands and arms broke into little flecks, then their legs, until they were just floating heads and torsos. I couldn't do anything except watch. I was totally helpless as my best friend since second grade turned into ash and flew away into the huge mouth in the sky. They're gone now. Madison and Laura and Jensen, they're all gone. But I think I know what happened. Midnight came and went, and my friends went with it, just like they were supposed to. I'm the one who got stuck. Stuck in a moment that doesn't exist anymore. My phone says it's still 11:59 on December 31st, 2020. I don't know how to get time working again. I think I'm fucked. I don't think anyone can save me. Madison's house is gone, and there's just a little chunk of carpet left where I'm sitting here typing this. Everything else is red and darkness. I'm hungry and I'm scared. My head is killing me. Maybe my brain will just explode before whatever's in the sky eats me alive. Madison, Laura, Jensen, Mom, Dad, everyone. I'm sorry. I wish I could have seen the new year with you. But I think this is where my story ends.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to today's video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a comment below, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to support the channel even further, I highly encourage picking up a copy of the Neverglades books, which are all available on Amazon right now. Or, please consider donating to my Patreon account at the link provided. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and as always, don't forget to stay weird.